Oh hell no. I don't like white light. Except for this.
Okay. You are focused.
I'm focused.
And you are recording.
Oh, okay.
Hang on.
Hi and welcome back. If you haven't been here, my name is Linnea and I have spontaneous CSF leaks as well as a form of dysautonomia called neurocardiogenic syncope. So I'm going to be getting my second blood patch on Wednesday the 10th. And so you guys will follow me as I go through the process, the beginning, the middle, the end. And I recorded it a little bit last time, but I want to do a little bit more in-depth and more of like a vlog versus more of a video. So you guys will be able to follow me each and every day until I think that I've quote-unquote recovered. But what I wanted to talk about was what is a CSF leak, what is a blood patch. So when you have a CSF leak, it means that you have a hole in your dura which surrounds your spine and your brain. So by doing that, it kind of lowers the pressure and you can actually have your brain kind of sink in your skull, and it can cause what's called a Chiari-1 malformation. So that is exactly what happened to me. I have a CSF leak between my T6 and T7, so that was my chronic leak. And then I also had a leak that was caused by my CT myelogram, which was in my lumbar. So going with that, when they do a blood patch, what they do is they will actually put what's called a central venous line into your neck. I know, tons of fun, it's great. But they put this into your neck so that they can actually withdraw your own blood. And they'll use your blood like a band-aid. So they'll do a spinal tap and insert that blood into where the hole is. And this will kind of seal it up and help it kind of heal and regenerate. It is very common for people who have spontaneous leaks due to connective tissue disorders to have more than one blood patch. So if they say you need to get more than one, don't panic. It's very normal. I've already had one blood patch and they want to do at least two more to make sure that it really is truly sealed. So with that blood patch, they'll take blood out of your central venous line in your neck and they'll insert it into where they think the hole is. And this will cause it to kind of seal itself like a band-aid until it can truly heal. So I'm just going to walk you through how my procedure went, and this is all from my own personal experience. So if yours is different, it's not necessarily bad, it's just different from mine. So what happened was they explained to me what they were going to be doing, and then I was wheeled back into the OR. At that point, they gave me my venous line, and a good trick for the venous line, and they'll probably tell you this when you get there, is that it helps if you hold your breath and bear down like you're having a bowel movement, because it will make your veins stick out more and it'll actually make it easier for them to get that central line in. At that point they had me transfer onto a table that looked a lot like a massage table. It was kind of funny, but it has a hole where your face goes, so I slowly turned with my venous line in. It was quite odd. And they had me lie down on the table. They had my arms over my head, kind of Superman style, and they started to talk about what they were going to do, what kind of medications they were going to give me. They went over my allergies before they started anything. And my doctor made very sure that everyone knew exactly what they were doing at any one time. So that made me feel a lot less stressed about the whole thing, because it is a very anxious thing to go through. So they went through my allergies, and I actually was able to tell them, hey, just so you know, I do actually have this allergy. But at the point that they know exactly what they were doing, they gave me certain medications. They gave me Versed, which helps. It's an anti-anxiety, but it's also a little bit of a sedative. For me, it didn't knock me out at all. For others, people actually completely go out. So it kind of helps kind of lower that anxiety level so you're not freaking out the entire procedure. They also gave me antibiotics because they are going into your spinal column, which is a sterile field. They don't want you to get an infection during the procedure, hence why they give you antibiotics beforehand. They also gave me Benadryl just in case I had any kind of reaction, as well as pain meds for obvious reasons. My doctor was very good about explaining exactly what he was going to do, both to me and to the people he was working with. So he would do something, he would say, you know, raise the table 2 inches, or he would say, hey Linnea, I'm going to do this, and you might feel this. So at some point he said, I'm going to insert the blood now. You may feel a burning sensation in your left shoulder. So I know exactly what was going to happen before it happened. So it made it to where it wasn't nearly as stressful. I don't know how long it took. From beginning to end, it was about an hour and a half, but a lot of it was talking and planning. So I would say that the procedure only took about a half hour, 45 minutes in total. After that, they had me go to the recovery room and they had me lay completely flat for 2 hours. When I say completely flat, I do mean completely flat. No pillows, no nothing. Because if you would imagine your spinal cord and that spinal column like a hose, if you lie the hose flat, it won't leak nearly as much. But if you stand it up and the hole's at the bottom, you'll start to lose your fluid. So the reason why they have you lie flat is that you don't want to crimp the hose or cause the hole to leak before the quote-unquote glue can dry. Hence why they have you lie down for 2 hours. After that, they'll tell you to lie flat, again, no pillow, for 72 hours. Honestly, for me, that was the worst part, because trying to stay still and stay lying down for 3 days is tough. And if you think it's not, good for you. And if you think it's not, you may be underestimating it. But they tell you after your blood patch that you're supposed to eat light meals because you may feel nauseous. For me, I've been feeling nauseous for months. I hadn't eaten much of anything in months, but it was an instantaneous reaction. As soon as my blood patch was done, I was starving. I ate more food that day than I had in months. So it is a recommendation. You may think that you're starving to death, and if you feel like you can eat, absolutely do it. You can't sit up to eat. So what I ended up doing was lying on my side with a towel underneath and kind of spooning it in the sideways. I also had a lot of finger food such as fries and hamburgers and that sort of thing. For me, I traveled to do these procedures, so I actually stayed in a hotel for the first 2 days, and then on my way home I lied flat on my back in the back of the truck and we drove home that way. You are allowed to go to the restroom. I tried to limit my travels to 5 or 6 minutes because I realized that my ears would start to ring, and I figured that was an indication that I've been up for too long. Now, because they are giving you pain medication, it may mess with the motility of your GI tract, and if you already have problems with that, you don't want any more issues. So something I recommend is taking stool softeners a day or 2 before the procedure as well as during, because they will most likely give you pain medication, and so that way you can stay on top of that. So I used stool softener as well as Miralax in tandem with each other because the stool softener will make things softer, but the Miralax will actually stimulate your GI tract because it does fall asleep when you take things such as opioid medication. After the initial 3 days, I was very sore. They told me I would be sore the first day and then a little bit more sore the next day and a little bit more sore on the 3rd day, but that it was supposed to get better after the 3rd day, and I think it did. I felt very bruised in my lower half because that's where the CT myelogram hole was, and he wanted to make sure that was sealed. And it's a sterile field. It's not supposed to have blood in there, so it will kind of bruise things. So don't be surprised if you are pretty sore. I'm several weeks out from mine and I'm still kind of sore. So don't be surprised if you do have lingering discomfort. If you have pain that continues to get worse, that's something that you should bring up with your doctor. They gave me some nausea medication, some muscle relaxers, and some pain medication. I wasn't nauseous at all after my procedure, which was astonishing. So I didn't really use any of that, but I did use the muscle relaxer actually more than the pain meds because I'm not big on opioids. I don't like the way that they make me feel. I feel like they don't really work for me. They make my face buzz, but otherwise I don't feel like they actually handle my pain at all. But I did find that the muscle relaxer actually helped with the muscle pain from lying down for 3 days, which can make you stiff. And they also tell you not to twist, bend, lift anything heavier than a gallon of milk, which is about 10 pounds, and no exercising for 6 weeks. So during that 6 weeks, it can be very common for you to feel pretty stiff, pretty sore, just from the fact that you're not allowed to bend over and you're not allowed to twist. My joke was that I walk around like a gingerbread man because it's very plank-like for a while, but it is totally worth it. If you guys have any questions about my personal experience with my blood patch, feel free, and I will continue to update you guys on this next blood patch, and you guys will be able to follow me before, during, and after, and it'll be more of a vlog, so there won't be a whole lot of editing at all, and so I can get them uploaded faster, and they won't be as time consuming for me since I will be lying flat on my back. So I hope this was helpful to you. I know that blood patches are really scary and you may not be able to find people who have had it, or you can't find a lot of reliable information, so I hope this was helpful for you. If you have any further videos that you would like me to do on the subject or things similar, let me know. And if you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and also press the little bell so it'll tell you when my next video is going to be up. I will see you in the next video.